when I talked to my mom about him, she gives me that look like she'd be disappointed if I went out with him. Welcome to the secret room. Alright, welcome back to part 2 of our first secret room story. If you haven't seen part 1 where I read the message, you have to watch it now. If you don't watch it, your body's gonna itch. Anyway, I'm your host, Fealomath. If you want to be a part of the show, go tell me how you feel at fealomath.com/secrets, and let's get into it. Hello again. I just wanted to thank you for what you said in the last video. You're welcome. I honestly didn't think my little events would be seen, so I appreciate it. I just wanted to clarify a few things. Me and the guy I like aren't actually dating. I thought we were for a couple of months, but nothing was ever made official or clearly said. As for the guy, we were classmates, but he stopped coming to school. Okay. When I said I had things going on, I meant I'm attending school, volunteering at least once a week, and working a part-time job. Okay, girl. I've asked him what he's good at or what he wants to do with his life, and he just says, I don't know. He often talks about how his exes and pretty much every woman in his life except his mom has taken advantage of him. And one example he gave me is, he gave his ex everything over the years and she used him and his love to string him along. Phew, okay. For me, I have no relationship history, nothing like that. But when I talked to my mom about him, she gives me that look like she'd be disappointed if I went out with him. That hurts because I'm close to my family and their opinion matters a lot to me. Of course that hurts. When he says he loves me, it feels like he expects me to say it back, but I'm unsure how I feel. That's fine. On one hand, I do not want to hurt him, but on the other, I don't think I can be with someone who's at least 4 years older and hasn't sorted his life out. He says he loves me for me, not just for my body, but then when he tries to hold my hand or put his hand around my back, it makes me really uncomfortable. I also don't even get to see him anymore now that he stopped coming to school. When I'm too busy to hang out or answer his texts, he gets mad. And one time, when we were with a group of friends just relaxing, he suddenly clutched his chest like he was in pain. And it honestly felt like he was just doing it for attention. Then he got upset at me for not caring enough. I mean, okay. I hope this gives more insight to my situation. I'm a very family-oriented person, and what my family thinks of me and who I might be with really matters. Honestly, I do like the way you think about this because it comes across as very calculated. You seem to be a very smart person and you know what you want, but your heart is in 3 places. Your heart is in between family, yourself, and a guy that you really like. And that's fine because this is just about choice. But where we're not looking at is the choice is already weighted in a direction that you just have to probably acknowledge. Number 1, family. The parts where your mom gives a sign of disapproval when you mention, hanging out with this person and, your fondness for this person. It seems like your family doesn't feel like it's worth the time. And I'm thinking about it too. Speaking of everything you've talked about with someone who's not ambitious, I've had many friends or guys I had to reevaluate my relationship with because they just say a lot of things but they don't follow through. And that can be very stressful because you get burnt out in the process. One thing that's really nice is that you're not in a relationship yet. So I have a feeling that your mind is at rest about that part, but there's a probability that you're also yawning for I wish this was a thing, I wish there was more direction, I wish things were more clear. You kind of mentioned that. But another part, apart from the family thing, because sometimes family doesn't always have the answer. One thing that seems to be very interesting is your body. You are saying the answer. I'm not saying I know what the answer is, but you're saying, which is very contradictory, that when he tries to, put his hands around you, you're uncomfortable. And that doesn't seem to be deliberate. Now, that could be induced by maybe internal voices from family. I don't know, I just talked about how family can influence even something that might be going good and you might look at it in a poor taste. But you have to figure out that answer for yourself, because if your body is doing that, you need to know what reason it's doing it for. Or it could just be something else. One thing that I would say is, if you have a coin or a penny, put the 2 decisions that you think are the two pathways on that coin, on each face of the coin, and then flip the coin, and then you get your answer. Let's do a scenario here. I want to buy ice cream. It's really hot outside, but I'm really close to the house. I could walk about 5 minutes and get into my house, and I could just make myself some nice cold cup of tea or whatever. But there's an ice cream truck close to me. Now, if I flip the coin and then it falls on like the choice not to buy the ice cream, and I end up ignoring the results of the coin, then I feel like I really want the ice cream. So now from flipping the coin, I know exactly what I actually deeply want. So you can take that analogy and actually try for yourself. And yeah, we get the answer. This is quite interesting. I'm actually happy for you. You're able to like rationalize this, and you're just looking to make a decision. Don't rush yourself. Ease into it. Take it a day at a time. Treat yourself nicely, and everything's gonna work out. You're doing great, and thank you for being on the show again. And for you guys who enjoy the show, make sure you like the button. If you dislike the video too, just hit the dislike button twice. Let me hear how you're feeling. Head out to fealomath.com/secrets to submit your secrets. Maybe you want to gossip or you just want to vent. See you in the next video. Adios.